Welcome on into the Sporty Show, everyone. Happy to have you here. The international break is well behind us, and it is now back to club football. I am Sara, joined by the one and only Klinton Cod.
The one and only Klinton Cod. Laugh, right?
Oh my God.
That went well.
No, we're right.
You got this. Third time lucky.
Yeah, I got it. We are right here on the Sporty Show. We're about to, make you happy as usual. Let me introduce the tallest man in Madrid as usual. It's Alex. Alex Ebuna. What go on, Alex? Bro, what are you saying, brother?
I remember my first time on camera, Klinton. I was a little bit nervous, so it's okay. You got this.
Oh la la. Today is a beautiful day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice. We shall talk football.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to just take this right away from you. All right, guys, as always, SportyTV has a ton of football ahead this weekend, and there are some tasty matches ahead. Al Hilal and Al Nassr are both playing on Friday, respectively. We also have Bayern Munich taking on Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. We also have Villarreal taking on Getafe in La Liga. We also have Manchester United and Brentford, as well as...
Woo!
Oh, there you go.
Manchester United and Brentford. Woo!
That's a big one.
Brentford. See, this was going to happen to you guys. You know how Undertaker does it when it's about to come out.
Remember when Klinton said that Brighton didn't have a chance to beat Manchester United?
Right,
I feel like there's going to be a Monday clip.
Hold on. I swallow. See, I know that's what you guys will do again. Maybe after they finish beating us, you guys will go and edit this clip. I didn't say anything. Just act like I didn't say anything, okay? It's going to be Manchester United, Brentford. We'll see who wins. Anybody that will let them win, Joe. Manchester cannot continue pressuring me. I'll come here be predicting things just to support my team. They will still go and mess up. I don't know who will win. Let's see what happens.
All right, Lazio taking on Juve as well in the Serie A, third versus fourth place. A very, very good match. But here's what we have coming up on today's show.
The Premier League is back, as we start off the Sporty Show by looking at all the upcoming games in an action-packed weekend. We will also analyse all La Liga action, as we are joined by Joseph Aidu for an exclusive interview ahead of Celta Vigo's game versus Real Madrid. And we also look at everything happening around Europe's top leagues.
Yes, guys, a very exciting show ahead. As said, Joseph Aidu, Celta Vigo player, will be joining us in Klinton. We'll be asking him a few questions ahead of the Real Madrid match. Another Ghanaian enjoying the show, though. Gary, welcome back in.
Yes, Gary, bro. Yes, Gary, bro. Show us what you have now behind you, because I don't trust Gary these days. He will just sit there before you know we bring out axe.
Whoa.
So what you're thinking? So I thought you were going to introduce me as the reigning international break.
And as we have it, the reigning international break champion, Gary Al Smith, all the way from Accra. Is that better?
Gary, I just want to remind you that you won that game with just one correct prediction or one correct score. It's not like you beat myself.
But if somebody wins even with a penalty, who is the winner? Who is the winner?
Well, we'll say the person won with penalty. We'll have to mention how the person won. That's the idea here. So how did you win? You won us by Alex. I mean, I don't know why it's happy though. Like, think about it.
I mean, I guess it's like Manchester United winning the Carabao Cup.
Like, do you have to? Do you have to mention Manchester United? Like, did I see? Like, you see the problem I have with people on this show. Did I ask you
with
about
people on this show?
No. You see, now this in Africa, this is what causes fights. Ask Gary. If we were in Africa, I would have gone to the back of his house. We would have thrown at least 2-3 punches because we brought Manchester United into.
Welcome to Spain.
Yeah, that's why you guys are lucky. That's why you can do anything. Welcome to Spain. Yes, we'll meet in Africa.
So guys, what's on the menu today? What's on the menu?
We have rice. We have shito. We have what's the other one that that thing you guys do in Ghana, that's spicy, that one that you grind pepper. See, you don't know what they do in Ghana. These people are terrorists. Let me tell you what.
Oh my God! Stop. Let's not talk. We have a Ghanaian joining us later today too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right, let's move along. Gary, we got some big matches this weekend. Let's start off with Liverpool and Chelsea. Come on, this one.
Oh yeah.
I think if you asked us maybe 4 weeks ago, we would have said Liverpool's going to win this match.
Liverpool.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Another day at Anfield. And since then, Chelsea's been on the up and up. And Liverpool also lost at Anfield, lest we forget, to Nottingham Forest. It can be done. This one, Alex, Mr. Chelsea the real Chelsea fan at the table.
The way they will
Alex, what
beat
do you
Chelsea, the way they will beat Chelsea this weekend, the way they will beat Chelsea this weekend, continue.
The problem with Chelsea this season, isn't it, Alex? That guy, this Enzo Maresca is a problem for me. You see, because I mean, I should be comfortably writing them off, but this iteration of the Chelsea system is prone to being so good sometimes, and I see them beating Liverpool, in as much as I see Liverpool also winning. You know, so that's the good thing, because I mean 4 weeks ago, like Sarah said, I mean I would definitely put Chelsea in the top 6. Now I'm seriously thinking of them as a top 4 side, like seriously thinking of them as a possible top 4 side. What do you think?
I mean, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get too excited. We're only in October. There's a long way to go, and I think perhaps other than City, this is, you know, one of our biggest tests yet. And obviously we lost to City. That was the first game of the season. I think they're always going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be difficult. Going to Anfield is always difficult. You know, no matter how good the form that you're in at the moment. I think Liverpool have looked really strong this season. Yes, they slipped up against Forest, but that's always going to happen. Football, that's why we love football. These results, these upsets can happen. So, yes, Chelsea do have what it takes to beat Liverpool, but I think it's going to be tougher than perhaps, well, I know Chelsea fans will expect a tough game, but I think it'll be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to stick my neck out and go for a 2-2 draw.
Wow. Well, Chelsea has 16 goals for this season. Second in the Premier League, just one behind Manchester City. If we know one thing about the Chelsea side is that they can score goals. And like Gary loves my saying, by committee. I think that's something we're definitely going to see with Liverpool as well, because we know they can also score a lot of goals. So I think you're onto something here with a potentially high-scoring affair. Klinton, do you agree?
Personally, one thing I will agree with is the fact that it's definitely going to be a high-scoring affair here. Chelsea, they've been the team that you can never bet to say there's going to be, say, just a 0.5 or, you know, Chelsea, whether they are the ones they are playing against or okay, let me rephrase. No matter who Chelsea plays, who they play or who plays against them, there's going to be goals. That's something I've noticed about Chelsea. Now, Liverpool, on the other hand, they are like Man City. They don't joke with their goals either. If they are lashing you 7 and it's still 69 minutes, that game is going to end. You know, there are some managers that be like, at 7, you know what, let's just chill.
Yeah.
Just relax. Change a few people. Like this Liverpool currently that we see, right? I don't see it happening. They will continue beating you, right, until you go call your parents. And then you go to the police station to go and write statements. Okay, that's what I see. Now, Liverpool, Chelsea coming together. Definitely a high-scoring game, but in terms of who's going to win this one, I want to give Chelsea credit right here. I don't want to downplay them because they've been very excellent lately, especially with Enzo Maresca being the manager. They've been doing a lot of exploits, and Chelsea, they are looking, like Gary said, I was even going to say it even before he said it. I was going to say Chelsea is no longer that team that you would say they might finish first half or whatever. Now they are literally looking like a team that would finish at top 4. You know, they are looking very solid. Everything is just clicking. They are scoring the goals. But the only thing the one thing I'm not too sure about is the fact that this high-scoring Chelsea is as a result of somebody in the team, right? Now, this person has just come back from international break where he's played for England. The question is he going to continue in the fashion that he's been in England back in Chelsea, or is he going to continue being the guy for Chelsea? I'm talking about Cole Palmer now, right? So when it comes to him playing for England, he's usually not the Cole Palmer that we know. I don't know if it's because they play him in the wrong wing when he's playing for England compared to when he's in Chelsea, or is it just the people he's playing around, right?
He also doesn't play as much for England compared to what he plays for Chelsea.
No, obviously, but I'm saying the times he's played, right?
I mean, he's done pretty well. He scored a goal in the final.
I mean, what do you mean final? Are you talking
The
about
final of the Euros,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about Euros right now. I'm talking
that
about
you lost.
just this last competition that we just finished.
The internationals.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, no, I'm saying Cole Palmer has played when he's given the opportunity. I think he has played well for England. He's played really well. He, scored a brilliant goal in the final. He, contributed throughout the few minutes he did get. But I think also when you look at I think you're on something there in terms of for Chelsea, he is the focal point of that attack. Everything goes through him. It's him to Nicholas Jackson, him to João Felix, him to Pedro Neto. But when you look at, say, England, there's so many other options. There's Phil Foden, there's Jude Bellingham, there's Declan Rice, there's Jack Grealish. I think he's definitely a different player when it comes to England, and I think perhaps still yet to find his perfect role when it comes to playing for England.
I mean, like I said, I think, I see Liverpool taking this win, just from what we've seen this season so far, right? Liverpool, they look quite solid. They are doing as much as what Chelsea are doing. There are two teams that have two new managers, and these two managers, you could see that there is a proof that they are pretty much good at their job. So if I was going to go, let's say I'm going to bet right now, I'm not going to be the guy that would say this who's going to win or I would literally go for goals because it definitely is going to be a high goal scoring game. But if a gun is pointed to my neck to say, Klinton, you need to choose who wins, I think I'm going to go, you see, I'm so confused because these are two good teams. But a gun pointed to my neck or to my head, I will still be like, right, it's going to be a high scoring game. But then if they be like, okay, Klinton, we have your son right now, and if you don't give us who wins at this point, your son...
Come on, man.
Why is it getting so dark? Gary, can I get a little answer from you? Are you leaning one way or another at Anfield, or are you also thinking, I'm just going to stick with goals? No, give me a prediction.
Oh, goals. No, I'm goals, but I'm thinking Liverpool will win this 3-2 or something. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, really high
3-2,
scoring as well. So you're going, Alex is going to draw. You've gone for Liverpool. I think Liverpool are also going to sneak their way out of this one. I think, like Alex mentioned, the hiccup against Forest was a hiccup. But I think Slot's got this team back in action. I mean, we saw they went down to Milan in the Champions League. And this was a team that wasn't shaken by getting scored on. So I think, that's fair to say that they can come back. Markandé also mentions here, Liverpool are not a team that concede easily. So even though Chelsea score a lot of goals, Liverpool only have 2 goals against them in the Premier League. That's incredible. So I think Liverpool will get the job done, but I don't think it'll be an easy job to get done.
I totally agree with that one too. No, I mean, I'm just...
Let me do the legwork for you.
My heart is leaning towards Liverpool.
Yeah.
You see it. And when you look at the likes of Luis Diaz and what he's doing in the Premier League. But then again, there are also... I think you can match every single Liverpool player to a player in Chelsea who's equally doing very well currently. So it's a very hard choice to make. And I just feel like I will still lean towards the Liverpool side.
Alex, I think you're getting some compliments here on your fresh cut. Hello. Love to see it. Just going through here. Everyone's just thinking Cole Palmer's going to do something, and he is the man of Chelsea. So.
Sorry. I think I need to learn my manners on how to.
No, it's okay. Go.
I was literally going to say that one thing I'm quite or slightly very worried about Chelsea is the fact that this Cole Palmer guy is just the one. He's the point man. He's the one who is literally carrying Chelsea. Take away Cole Palmer, I don't think Chelsea would be where they are currently. I know it's a teamwork, but this guy is the one scoring. He's not even the striker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have Nicholas Jackson, who we should be speaking about in terms of, okay, you are the man who is just the same way we celebrate Haaland for Manchester City. Haaland is he's the guy who produces the goal because he's doing his job. Now, with Chelsea, you have a midfielder, right, who is, carrying this team. If there is no Cole Palmer, the question is what happens to Chelsea?
I do think they're obviously worse without Cole Palmer, but I do think they have other options. I think you look at Noni Madueke, I think he's been brilliant this season.
Listen, Noni Madueke, in my own opinion, I think that he is that guy that whenever his girlfriend kisses him before he goes to the field, he performs. Now, if she goes on holiday...
Gary, I need your help over here. I
keep him in check, Gary. Keep him in check.
No, but I'm telling you about Madueke though. Madueke performs. He's one of my favorite players in Chelsea. I've told you this before, right? But there are some games that you're like, wait, hang on, where's the consistency? There are some decisions he makes in some of the games. You're like, no, this is not Noni Madueke. Madueke would be able to be the guy who would give this assist or is getting the ball crossed in. But there are some decisions he makes sometimes, and you're like, wait, nah.
let's move along to Sporty TV's match of the Premier League this weekend. Klinton Codd's very own Manchester United taking on Brentford. And there is some very interesting breaking news regarding Manchester United. Some good, some bad. Let's start with the good. Why not, Klinton? It is said that Man U will be sending Anthony out in the January transfer window. His former club Ajax, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle are interested. So the Brazilian is set to be leaving the club. That being said, Kobbie Mainoo has suffered an injury and will be out for several weeks, including this weekend against Brentford.
Well, I mean, I think the Anthony one is a very big news, if you ask me. I think he's just one of those players who, I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way. I mean, he was something before he came to Manchester. But when he came to Manchester, he became a useless player. He literally went from being the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and he's now the iPhone XLR or LR, I don't know which of them, or whatever which one is. He's not even playing up to that standard, if you ask me. Now, I think it's time for him to go to a new club. And it's not just Anthony. There are quite a few players in the Premier League who you just know that at this point, they just need some kind of fresh start somewhere else. You know, Marcus Rashford is probably one of them too. But at the end of the day, Marcus Rashford, because of his legendary status and what he's done for Manchester United, I think people might say it doesn't make sense to let him be there. But in my opinion, I feel like his time in Manchester United is expired. He needs to go give himself a whole new challenge somewhere. I mean, just go do something elsewhere. Now, Anthony is a very good start for this new or this decision that's been made by the Manchester United board. And I just hope that they would follow suit with other players that needs to go too.
I think it needs to be sensible signings because that's been the thing. They've spent, 600 million over the last 3 seasons, spending almost just for the sake of spending. You know, let's bring in a player for £86 million. £86 million must mean he's going to perform well, must mean he's going to do well. But, you know, you look at 12 goals and 5 assists in over 80 games for Manchester United. Bro. When I see Anthony coming on the pitch, I don't have any confidence that he's going to provide a threat to that attack. But when you look at likes of Garnacho and Amad Diallo, those are the players that I feel like they can threaten defences. But Anthony, he just lackluster. You know, I don't know. It feels like his attitude isn't there as well. I don't know. It feels like he's perhaps overly confident's the wrong way of saying it. But I don't know whether he just feels like he's, you know, he should be there because he's a big player and he's got a big price tag. But he really needs to, if you know, he's going to consider himself a good player, he really needs to step up his performances.
Absolutely. Gary, United, Ten Hag is still there. They have 8 points from 7 matches. They have a -3 goal differential. You have any faith in this side going up against Brentford this weekend?
Well, just because it's United, they've had time to work on a couple of things during the international break, but I'm not sure that a lot of United fans are very, very confident. Look, while Brentford can travel to Old Trafford without any pressure on their shoulders, that cannot be said for Ten Hag. You know, he can ill afford to see this United team produce another lackluster performance because it feels like every single game takes him closer to the door, and they're just waiting for one bad one to just push him out. Both teams, I would say, from all the injury, the pre-match injury assessment and the team news, they are at full strength. I think that, are they at full strength? Remind me. No, they will have some injuries, I think.
Well, we just found out that Kobbie Mainoo is injured.
Well, yeah, so apart from, you know, the usual, Lenny Eurosport, Tara Malacia, Harry Maguire still has a muscle injury, Mazraoui is out to Mes, Ugarte, remember he limped off on international duty. So then there's Luke Shaw, there's Garnacho. Garnacho has a knee injury, guys. Amad Diallo is also injured. He's also ill. He's not injured, he's ill.
Klinton's like, wait, who's going to be the...
No, because at this point, I think I might have to go play for Man U, you know. I mean, it seems...
Poor Ten Hag.
They are not at full strength. Meanwhile, Brentford are in a better position. So there they have an advantage coupled with everything else. The last time we had a prediction like this, I was magnanimous to United and said they are going to win. With everything that's happening, I don't see United having a straightforward victory. So I'd go the West is a draw for me for United against Brentford. It's a draw.
Well, we have to also talk about Brian Mbeumo, tied with Cole Palmer right now in the Premier League in second place for most goals.
Yeah.
Obviously, Holland at the top with 10. Mbeumo has 6 goals this season so far, 8 matches. That's really impressive. Brentford also probably performing a bit better than we all thought they would have. And like Gary said, they're going to Old Trafford with not an ounce of pressure on their shoulder. They have, Manchester United have all these injuries, have all this, just this turmoil surrounding the team, the Ten Hag drama. I'm going for a Brentford win, keeping it simple. Let's go. I want to hear. Is there a reason? No, I need to hear. Is there a reason? Is there something inside of you? You gotta represent. You're the Manchester United fan, but is there something inside of you that says Manchester United are going to win on Saturday? And if they do, why?
The truth is, there's nothing inside of me telling me we would win. No, the only thing telling me we would win right now is
like
No, because I mean we have to be sincere here. Right now, I wish there was something telling me, but I've been trying to hear the voice. The voice is like the thing lost his voice. I can't hear anything. The only thing telling me right now that we are going to win is probably the odds on all these websites, and most of them, it feels like everyone is giving up on Manchester United. Now, this is when I will be praying that Manchester United will surprise everybody. I understand that we have all these injuries here and there, and it would. With the injury, we're not performing. Now, no, with all this injury, what would happen? Now, fact is, it's almost like a no-brainer. Brentford, they are not a rubbish team. They play really well, and you just mentioned Mbeumo, who is like, their star boy, it is their Haaland, is their Cole Palmer. This guy would, I don't know how he does it, but he would always take his opportunity. He would take his chances. Yeah. And we know how our defensive side of Manchester United, we know how poor it can be, at times. And I think this particular Brentford, they are going to cause serious headache. What is my score prediction for this one? Or what's my prediction when it comes to winning? I think, I am just speaking as a fan, Manchester United would be winning the game. But let me speak as a neutral. Bro, they go beat us, die. Hey, God. As in, they will beat. Hey, God, I beg you. So even if they beat us, let them just do it, maybe 2-1 or something. But like I said, as a Manchester United fan, we are winning the game 2-0.
Alex Ashmore?
2-1. Sorry, 2-1.
It all points in Brentford's favour. United have scored once at home this season, haven't scored in 2 months at home. They've scored 5 goals in total this season. They've only won... they've only won once at home. They've played 3 games. If you look at the home table, they sit 15th. Brentford sit 3rd in the home table, away from home. Obviously, they know that they've got nothing to lose. They're going into this game with a bit of a habit of scoring quickly. Pressure's on Ten Hag. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford win.
Someone wrote in the comments, Manchester United should be relegated.
Makinde said Manchester United will make Brentford look like Barcelona.
Oh my!
I mean, there's no respect left. There's no respect left for the team.
It doesn't matter who they support.
Like, the funny thing, nothing works. Like, there's something about Manchester United that I feel like, you see, they need to, first of all, right, they need to send everybody out, include all the fans. Everybody should leave the city, Manchester United, and let them just destroy all the buildings and build the city again.
Hey, there's one team in Manchester that seems to be doing pretty well.
All right, that's true. No, it's the other half.
Oh, the divide.
Yes, they will divide
the red half.
Yeah, the red half. Thank you. Yeah, leave the blue half somewhere, right? Let's do a whole New York, because 1 minute you're hearing that the players or we are losing a game, something is not. Next minute, when you feel like there's one star boy doing something, boom, you hear that the stadium is leaking. Like there's just only something, man.
The only thing going for Brentford, for United, is Brentford's poor away form. They haven't won away from home this season. 3 losses, 3 games.
They concede a lot of goals too.
Yeah, 7 goals conceded. They've only scored twice, so that is perhaps an inkling for United, something to be hopeful for. But to be honest, I really don't expect a lot from them. And Ten Hag, I don't know. The more I hear from him, he exudes an arrogance that it feels like he isn't. It's just not what I want to see. If I was a United fan, it's not what I want to see in the press from my manager. And it's a mess.
The only one time Ten Hag make fans happy by coming to give us some kind of win mentality was the time that they won Manchester City.
In the
in the
FA
FA
Cup.
Cup, right?
Yeah.
Remember, Bruno Fernandes still came online. That's why I'm saying that that spirit that he had on the night before that game, oh, sorry, it wasn't the night, because I think it was the last game they played prior to the FA Cup final. He came, he took the microphone at the middle of Old Trafford, and he reassured the fans. He said to them, now listen, this game, we are going to win it. And then Bruno Fernandes went on this long epistle on Twitter that everybody thought that he was leaving the club, right? He wrote this whole thing, and everything he was saying there was saying to us that we are going to win the game. So I felt like they paid Pep Guardiola. Because how did they, since then, we've never had that kind of confidence from them. And guess what? They know. I mean, where's the performance? We don't get it. So how did they know that they were going to face the best team in England and they were going to win, and they reassured the fans right at the middle of the stadium, and exactly how they said it, it happened? Why is it not happening again?
I guess miracles do happen, guys.
Miracle no dey tire Jesus.
You guys can catch that game on Sporty TV at 3 p.m. WAT, 2 p.m. GMT. All right, before we move on to La Liga, let's talk a little bit about Brighton and Newcastle, because this one, I know it's getting overshadowed by Chelsea and Liverpool, but this one to me is also going to be a very fiery match, a very close match. Both teams they both have 12 points. Excuse me, separated by goal differential here, but I think Brighton, another team like Brentford, also shocking everyone. Like I think I actually came out on the show and said it. I'm pretty sure. If not, I said it to you guys off camera. But I said Brighton were going to be bad this season, and they are proving me so wrong. They are such a fun team to watch again. Kind of like 2 seasons ago, that Brighton we once knew went through a little up and down last season, and now they're back. But Brighton, Newcastle, Alex, this one it's going to be a class match, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good one. I think, both teams impressive. I think Newcastle's big thing this season has been they haven't had any European football. I think that's really helped.
No kidding.
Last season, the squad was just spread way too thin. And, coming into this game, both teams aren't on the best of form. Brighton have only won 1 in the last 5, Newcastle 2 in the last 5. It's a chance for both of them to perhaps close that gap to the top 4 and maybe make a statement. But yeah, some really good players and some good performances from both sides this season, and good to see that there's more teams competing for that top 6, and it makes everything more entertaining and more competitive, which is what we want to see.
Yeah. Super sub Brighton, Gary. I feel like this team has the best subs, or the best made subs. Because you always forget about certain players, and then, they're bringing on Minte and, Julio Enciso, by the way, coming off of a brilliant international break for Paraguay, so he's going to be on fire. But, Gary, this one is at St. James's, and we know what that means for Newcastle and the fans. That 11th or 12th man, rather, is going to be in full effect here. Are you leaning towards one or the other right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking Brighton, actually, to get an away win. Just because they've been so exciting, unpredictable, they've known what to do even they travel on the road, And you've mentioned about you've talked about the subs as well. Danny Welbeck could well be involved in the goals. He already has 5 goals in 7 appearances. I think he scored 4 and assisted 1, if I'm right. Yeah. And he's having a new lease of life. I'm so happy for him. After what happened at Man United, Arsenal, he's having a very, very good next few years, and I think that his influence on the team is grown. He is mentoring, if that's the word, the younger players quite well from the front. And yeah, but Newcastle will also be a threat. That said, they've been playing some exciting football. They are getting into the groove after, like Alex said, last season they were spread too thin. They've been unbeaten in their last 3 home games against Brighton as well, so they know their number. But I think Brighton are going to win, and slim win, but I think they are going to win as well. Yeah.
Potentially Alexander Isak returning, but I don't know if they're going to risk it. But that would be huge for Newcastle, obviously, because we know what he's capable up front. Klinton, Brighton, Newcastle, where are you leaning?
That one is going to be a very shaky one as well. I think it's nearly the same, just where we're trying to judge Chelsea and Liverpool. I think it's close. Brighton, like you said, they've been performing really well this season, and I've told you guys on this show before that Brighton is that team that is almost like, I don't know the word that they use in, those. So they are the players' laundry scheme, right? They just get the best people, groom them, and sell them off. But they're selling. They are just there to do some kind of business. And fact is, I see this game easily being a draw. I mean,
Fair call. Fair call.
yeah, that is where I'm leaning towards.
Alex.
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle win, Harvey Barnes late winner.
Oh, so specific. Okay.
Alex. Let me just ask Alex. You know, they've had injuries, and you mentioned Alexander Isak. If he doesn't play, it's not outrageous, Alex, because I think Newcastle have been getting most of their goals from midfield, so it's
Yeah.
not outrageous as well. I mean, the
Anthony
fact that these two
Gordon-
teams, Harvey Barnes and the rest, you know, they've all been chipping in now and again. I think that aren't the two teams separated by goal difference? Yeah.
Yes, Brighton have
That's
got
why it can go either way.
+3 and Newcastle +1.
It can go either way. I just gave it to Brighton because I feel like Newcastle's second halves have not been as good as Brighton's second halves in the last few games, and that's the only reason why I'm giving Brighton the win. But I see Klinton's prediction coming through, and I see Alex's prediction coming through as well. AKA, you know, it's that sort of game. It's up in the air. It's
Yeah,
literally
this
like
one
just up
almost
in the
seems
air.
harder to call than Chelsea-Liverpool. I'm going to back Air here, then go Brighton, and I'll say super sub Simon Adingra, maybe a last-minute screamer.
Oh.
Ooh, could be spicy. See,
Brighton
Gary,
do
you
have
also
some
see
nice
mine
good
coming there.
players, don't they? Like Brighton do have some players, you know, like some funny players you don't expect, and then they're just gonna pop up and score, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Should be a really good game. But guys, let's move along to La Liga, where we have one very special guest to hear from.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sporty Show right now, we have Ghanaian and Celta Vigo central defender, Joseph Aidu. Joseph, welcome to the show. It is saying.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you passed my first test. I was going to be shocked if you didn't know what I said.
Oh no.
That's the only stuff I know from Ghana. Now, Joseph, talk to me. You've been out on injury for nearly a year. You've come back. You've played your first game. I mean, you played for like 8 minutes, and it was a win for yourself and your team. Talk to me. How do you feel coming back?
Oh, it was really nice and really emotional. Being out almost a year and being on the pitch and seeing how the fans are like chanting, and with a win, it was marvelous.
I mean, it must have felt really good for you, especially knowing that was your first game and you coming out with a win on that one. Now, this weekend, you have a very important game, and you are facing one of the almighties, Real Madrid. What's your feeling going into this game? Do you think you are going to be copying a win on this one?
Yeah, for me, in La Liga, there's no like easy game. Like all the teams, probably Madrid is a top club, but on the field of play, anything can happen. It depends on the moment and how things go.
I mean, you've had a very good record when it comes to your home games. So you guys have, I think you are the third when it comes to your home wins so far in the La Liga. You've only lost one home game so far. Real Madrid being a very strong team. Talk to me as a defender. Who is that one player from that team you think would be too threatening to your own self if you were starting that particular game?
Oh. I don't actually know, but I think it depends on the moment. On the moment and the situation, because of Madrid, their front lineup, they are good. It's like when they have counter and you are not prepared, you are not standing at the right position, you will pay for that. So I think their front is really quick.
Okay, lovely. Now, as a defender, would you rather have Vinicius playing from the left wing, or would you rather have Mbappe? Which one would you think you would be able to contain easier for yourself as a defender?
I've not played against Mbappe, but I did against Vinicius. So for me, I can speak of Vinicius. So for me, Vinicius is really good. He can surprise you at any moment. So just you need to be alert.
What is your scoreline prediction for this game? It's a very tricky question.
Yeah, for me, a home win will be great. So our focus is having a home win, and at the end.
Okay, now just looking at yourself as a defender, right? Who is that player that inspires you as a defender, or who would you regard as that role model you see you see them defending in football, and you'd be like, this is who I really want to be?
Yes, Samuel Oseko, but he's not playing anymore. Samuel Oseko, he played before in Bayern Munich.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've played for the Black Stars at some point in your career, right? In one sentence, Joseph, tell me, what would you talk about the Ghanaian football currently?
Hi. For me, at this moment, it's really shaking, which we have to do our best to put the country at the stage that it was before. But for me, playing for the national team is marvelous, and it's like putting on the colors of your country. Is like you want to do everything for the country.
Now, looking at the fact that they've lost their recent game to Sudan 2-0, I mean, everybody thought it was going to go the other way around. Now, Joseph, if you were playing that game, what would you have done differently to make that scoreline not have happened?
I actually don't know, but what I can say is probably having a conversation with my teammates, like, as they know, the situation at hand now is not good. So for us to make things okay, we have to just win the game and to convince the fans that we are capable of.
Lovely, thank you. You've played in the La Liga for at least 5 years so far. Do you think you are going to be in the La Liga for any longer, or do you have any eyes on playing in any other leagues in Europe?
Yeah, when I was young, my dream was playing in the Bundesliga and playing for Bayern Munich. But being in La Liga, I think the style of play and being like a player on the field, enjoying the game is something different. It's like in La Liga, the ball is always on the pitch, not like long ball, and this is more of like enjoying the game. So for me, it's one of the best league in the world.
Joseph, this really last tricky question. Who is your all-time best player?
My all-time best player?
Very careful with this one. Joseph, be very careful.
No, I think it's Messi.
Okay, well, thank you very much for speaking to me, Joseph. Hopefully we get to catch up again on the Sporty Show, and hopefully even gets even longer, because there's a lot to speak about when it comes to football. But thank you very much, and hope to catch you again, and wish you very big luck on Saturday.
Thanks very much for having me.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Klinton always trying to stir the pot with that last question. Gary, talk to us a little bit. Your countryman, speaking of Klinton just now, how do you feel?
So it's one of those interviews that, I have an anecdote to start with. So before the 2022 World Cup, I went to Europe, and I was chasing before the final squad was named for Ghana, right? So I did a series of interviewing as many players as possible in their clubs in Europe, and I started in Spain. And Joseph was my plug for the Spanish guys and the guys in France. So like he was calling them on my behalf and telling them that, yo, Gary wants to come. And so like for some of them, he was talking to their clubs on my behalf and everything. Funny enough, after arranging all the interviews, I couldn't interview him because there was a general strike or something, and so I couldn't fly to Celta, where he was, Vigo, what's it called? Is it Vigo, right?
Vigo,
Where he
see.
was to do the interview with him and all that. But let me give you a measure of what this guy is and why Klinton. I was happy you asked him about his return after his injury and when he said it was emotional. This guy had played 32 out of 35 games for Celta, back to back to back without break, uninterrupted. Then he went for international break for Ghana and got injured, and he was out for a year. Can you imagine how hard that was? Like, he was on a freaking streak for Celta. He was unplayable. His coach literally said he was the first name on the team sheet every weekend. He was, all the adjectives you can use. He goes for the international break in a very meaningless friendly against Mexico. He got an ankle injury, and then he was out for 1 year. These are some of the reasons why some of the players don't want to come for international break, and we, the football fans, don't understand. Because in this international break, for example, our captain, Thomas Partey, everybody knows. I don't want to sound very. He played very well for Arsenal. Then he said he got ill. Then when he couldn't come for the Ghana national team, we heard during the international break that he will be available in this weekend's game. Come on, man. We saw that for a lot of the players, for Kai Havertz, for so many of the players as well. Anyway, I digress. He's a really good chap. I love the interview, Klinton, and I love the questions you ask him. I'm sorry that my countryman, I saw that it was a bit difficult to get things out of him. He doesn't talk a lot at all. He's very difficult to interview because, he doesn't say much. He's a very, very shy and a very quiet person. Yeah.
Funny enough, you could tell from his body language though that he's a very good, he's that kind of person that's easily approachable and he's just down to earth.
Very.
There are some players you come across and you could clearly see that this one, his head is big from, too much pride. There's just a lot going on there. But when you and there's something about Ghanaians too. I'm not going to lie to you. I've come across a lot of Ghanaians, and Ghanaian people are one of the humblest people you would ever meet in your life. I've been to the country. Most of my friends are from Ghana, and I can tell you for free that this behavior we see from their players, even the ones who have made it, even their artists. I'm quite close to a few of their really mainstream artists as well. These people are down to earth. Stone Boy comes around to where I used to live in Bedford. This is literally who they are.
What happened at the border with Nigeria?
We chased them out of our country because they.
No, you missed it. Right over his head, Gary. Right over his head. I was saying Nigerians weren't humble because I was talking about you.
Oh.
Oh, it's not nice when you have to explain a joke.
Right.
All right, though. You enjoyed, though, your talk with Joseph Idu. So he's playing Real Madrid this weekend, guys. Celta Vigo hosting Real Madrid. Do they stand a chance? Clinton, be honest. You just spoke to...
Listen
Gary
to me.
said, nope.
Listen to me. I can't lie to you, right? They are going to, like we said, Celta Vigo, they have the best records. They are third in the La Liga when it comes to home wins, So, and knowing that Real Madrid, they are not particularly playing like the Real Madrid we know. I'm telling you for free that if a proper team who is organized come together, this Madrid, look at what happened in Atletico Madrid, which I felt like that was the first real game that they had faced. They didn't win, right? Yes, it was away. Atletico Madrid, they are not a very small team either, but they weren't even the best on the day they were playing Real Madrid. I'm telling you for free, if these people would face a real team, if Barcelona faces Real Madrid now, my God, Jesus.
Well, they will be in a week's time. Oh, la la. Listen, I don't know about that, though, because I wouldn't compare Celta to Atleti.
I'm still supporting Madrid, though. Ala Madrid!
Okay. Celta, I don't think are at the same level as Atleti. Atleti gave Real Madrid much more trouble, but I don't know if Celta will be able to. Real Madrid, though, do have to play Dortmund midweek, and then they're welcoming the biggest rivals, Barcelona. It's going to be tense, Alex. A lot of what's going on in the next couple matches is almost planning ahead as well, right? Carlo Ancelotti has, one eye here and the one over there thinking about Champions League and El Clásico.
Yeah, I think it's a busy time coming up, and the Champions League, I think before Christmas, we've got Liverpool, AC Milan and Atalanta as well. So some really important games for Ancelotti and for Real Madrid. I think Celta are a tough side, and they've done well this season. You look at Borja Iglesias, how he's done there. He's been a really good contribution to that attack. Obviously, Iago Aspas. You look at perhaps I think some of the business they did over the summer, they obviously lost some players that they would have liked to have kept. But I think when you look at their home forward, like you said, Klinton, they've been really strong. The Galician weather will perhaps play a part, can be a little bit windy and might chuck it down, which will be a shock for some of the players. But no, I think Real Madrid they have what it takes to handle Celta Vigo's attack, and I think they'll be capable of getting a win. I think when you look at perhaps a result on Saturday against Celta Vigo, it doesn't take the pressure off as much against when you come on to facing Barcelona next week. But if Real Madrid fail to get a result when it comes into Dortmund in the week and then El Clasico at the weekend, it just adds that little bit of pressure. So I don't think they'll be taking their foot off the gas in any way. And I think Carlo Ancelotti will know the importance of getting a win for the momentum as well. So I can expect Real Madrid win. I'm probably going to go 3-0.
The last time Celta beat Real Madrid was in January 2017. And then the last time these two teams even drew was, I just lost it here, was also 2017. Nope, that's a lie, 2020. So it's not a good record, but also I sometimes feel when we look at these things, you're comparing completely different teams, obviously, but Celta don't have a great record against them. And Alex, I think I'm with you here. I think Madrid are going to know what they need to do, even if they don't have their full starting lineup. We're not 100% sure about Rodrigo. Obviously, some of these guys have traveled for international break. But I think, Gary, is it fair to say it's Real Madrid win?
Iago Aspas is suspended, mind you.
Oh,
so
that's
a big one.
Yep. It's not
and
good.
Then Alex Mariba is also missing. He's not going to be around. And then on the other hand, Militao is back. Vinicius is back, likely after picking, issues against
Is
Real.
Militao back? Is that confirmed?
I think when you look at
they're expected to, yeah.
Expected
I think I saw on the
It'll
website.
be him and Rudiger and Mbappe as well as.
You would risk Militao though with the games coming up. I mean, he falls, breaks at like anything.
No,
I feel like
but
at this
even
point.
it'll be good to have him back. But even if it's not there, like you said, like Klinton said, they'll be too strong. Ceballos is back as well in the bench, and so yeah.
So prediction, Gary?
2-0. Quick,
2-0.
easy.
Alex gone 3-0. Clinton?
I think I'll go with 2-0 as well.
Oh, okay. Joseph, I do. Yeah. Long day.
And then,
No, I mean, easy.
and then Celta win. Oh my God.
It'd be crazy. Well, we have to remember that Real Madrid are catching Barca on their unbeaten La Liga run. Barcelona are the holders right now. 43 matches in La Liga unbeaten. They are the record holders. This is going to be the 42nd game for Real Madrid. So if they win, it will all come down to El Clasico. And of course it's going to, because that's how football works. We're making a story here, and it's going to be stressful, and everyone's going to be freaking out.
Do you know one of the reasons why I feel like this is going to be an easy win for Real Madrid against Celta Vigo? It's only because when you look at the formation that they're used to playing, they always play a back three. And when you compare the fact that Real Madrid having that kind of attack, say you have Rodrigo, you have Mbappe, you have Vinicius, and then you have Bellingham starting that game, right? Celtic Vigo, geez, I think it's just going to be too much. This 2-0 I'm predicting is just me being nice. I think if they turn up proper, like the Madrid we know, I mean, we've seen them play maybe like 1 or 2 good games this season so far. If they come up with that kind of energy against Celtic Vigo, it's going to be proper Undertaker kind of death.
It's also Ancelotti's 200th La Liga game in charge of Real Madrid.
Hello.
So yeah, he's
Nice
good.
little anniversary.
He's
I think
definitely not
also
going to lose this one.
with Vinny and Mbappe not playing in the international break, I think they'll come back refreshed.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're perhaps nursing knocks, but it would have been a good 2 weeks just for them to
100%.
decompress, relax, and recover. And I think coming into this game, they know the importance of it, so I can see nothing other than a Real Madrid win.
I'm also saying Real Madrid are going to win. I think it's going to be standard. And
some people are not going to believe you now. And there's something about when you give something positive to Real Madrid.
oh yeah, they don't have to believe me. I'm not losing any sleep over it. Like, enjoy it, believe it, don't believe it. Whatever will happen on Sunday will happen, and that's it. Enjoy the football, as I always say. All right, let's move along to Barcelona, taking on Sevilla, big match in La Liga.
Yeah, Nacho, Educate. Oh, we are speaking to Educate tomorrow.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Klinton.
yes.
Yep.
Educate is going to be on the show tomorrow, so please, all my Nigerians, Ghanaians in their house, please, you want to keep up on this one because the interview is going to be explosive. I have a lot of questions to ask. You know,
Where can we send the questions? Where can we
please.
send the questions?
Okay, send it to my LinkedIn.
I'm sure.
Oh my God, my
I'm sure Martin
LinkedIn.
did.
Good Gee.
LinkedIn.
Not my LinkedIn. All right, yes, that's going to be all over our socials tomorrow. Klinton's going to do a one-on-one, and we'll post it all over our socials because, as you guys know, we don't have our show on Friday. But yeah, Gary, Klinton, link up and go through the questions with Gary.
No,
you know,
I'm saying
Tuscany and
some
sports
of the,
journalist.
some of the, what do you call it? Some of the Nigerians will want to ask Klinton to ask questions on
There you
his
go.
behalf. So maybe under
Okay.
his Twitter. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Well, they're taking on Barcelona ahead of, obviously, Barcelona's busy week, taking on Bayern Munich and then Real Madrid. Guys, next week in football is going to be actually a movie. Like, I don't know who you're following, but there's so many good games. Yeah, it's going to be tense. Dani Olmo, Gavi, Fermin Lopez returning to the team makes me very happy. I think Barcelona's injuries have been ongoing for a little. What?
No, Makinde doesn't believe that. Man just says you call Sevilla a big match. Just as nice to call you a big team too.
Oh, okay. Market
Right.
day. See, I said it yesterday on yesterday's show, and I'll say it again. You cannot make a Madrid fan happy, and honestly, I don't waste my time doing that. You're not gonna call Alex. Listen, you've been in Spain for a while. I know you're a Madrid fan. Well, actually, he's actually a Malaga fan, but he's also a Madrid fan. That's fine. Sevilla and Barcelona, in terms of the clubs, is a big match in La Liga. Am I crazy for saying that?
No, it is. I mean, Sevilla
Thank you.
won multiple European trophies. Barcelona, I don't even have to speak about how successful they are. It's a big game. I think, you know, perhaps for Sevilla, they would have preferred it to be at the Sanchez-Pizjuan, but, you know, I'm sure they'll be buoyed up as they would be going into a big game like this. I think for Barcelona, it'd be interesting to see how they manage a few of the injuries, whether they play, you know, I think if Pau Victor gets the start or whether Lamine Yamal, I imagine he'll be rested for this weekend,
Yeah.
saving him for, is it Bayern Munich in the week in the Champions
Yeah, I would
League?
hope so.
And then obviously Real Madrid. So I think it's an interesting one. I think Barcelona are obviously the favourites, but I think it'll be a good game and perhaps a chance for some of your fellow Nigerians to
Eyes
put on
on
a show.
them. You'll have to ask them all tomorrow. So
No, absolutely, yeah. Obviously, you have Ijuke, you have Iheanacho, senior man. Senior man is going to be the game for you to prove why you are senior. But let's. I mean, we will eventually find out.
we will find out. All right, guys. Well, we have pretty much wrapped it up for today. As always, Thursdays are quite busy. Like we said, tomorrow Klinton will be talking to Ijuke, so that'll be on our socials. I'll be at Atletico this weekend as they take on Leganés, so check in with our socials then. Lots and lots of football on Sporty TV. Next week, the Champions League is back, so I mean, and then we have El Clasico. So it's only going to get busier and better and crazier. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. Gary, as always, thank you for joining us. And until then, enjoy the football.
Ebwe, TTT. Mano.